Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New music so fine. Kurt Cobain.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
Ain't no sunshine when we're not on. Mm-hmm. Only darkness every other day. Mm-mm-mm. Ain't no sunshine when we're not on. Washington Football Weekly, we are here for you today. What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy back again, Sean Spencer, one half that dynamic duo that's Let's Talk Football. Tonight, yes, it's Thursday, but we wanted to wait till the NFL schedule came out. Washington Football Weekly back in your living room, live and direct. And yes, it looks a little thin here. We normally got 4 boxes, but we only got 2 tonight. Our man Anton, shout out to him. He's on the road, Mr. Moral Support, driving Miss Lady. I ain't gonna call him Miss Daisy. I'm gonna call him Miss Lady. Driving this lady, doing his thing. Shout out to you. Hope all is well, man. Safe travels. And shout out to our main man, Mr. Shirtless Wonder, Ab Low, out there working, grinding. Handy, we're gonna hold it down for you, baby boy. But who we have here is my main man, Dub K. South Carolina's eggplant. What's up, baby? How you doing?
Hey. Hey, man, doing well. You know, you got to get that weekly Watchmen fix in, whether it's Wednesday night, Thursday night, whatever we have to do. You know,
Exactly.
Got to get too many thoughts going on.
Right.
Talk to somebody about.
I got to shout out my man Will because we did the draft. We did the whole offseason with the free agency and the draft and the trades and all the things that happened. And I'm not gonna lie, I was tired, but I was sitting here like, dude, I don't want to stop, but I didn't want to put too much on you. The minute we ended the last show, I sat there and said to Will, hey, if you guys want to stop, we can do it. Will was like, man, I got my weeks blocked off. I'm ready to go. Hey, that's that kind of hard dedication I love, man. So I appreciate you, buddy.
It's too much fun not to.
Exactly, man. Yo, shout out, go Pack, go. Yo, we gonna start with this. What's up, Wendy? Let's see. Packers are gonna whoa. See,
not according to this.
Right. And we are definitely gonna get into that. We're gonna cover the NFL schedule that is out. But real quick, because you are here, Wendy, we wanted to take this minute to say happy belated birthday to you, Wendy. Shout out to you, diehard Packers fan. Look, hey, Wendy, you need to worry about that quarterback of yours.
Yeah.
You need to worry about that. He might be coming over here. Let's go, Aaron. Hey, Ron, let's go, baby.
Yeah.
So, shout out to you. Hope you had a great birthday. Thank you for the love and support. But we have to flip it. And on a somber note, on the 11th, ex-Redskin, ex-Hawaii quarterback, Colt Brennan passed away. He was only 37 years old. Man. So, Will, what do you think, man? How you feel about it? What do you remember from him?
Your thoughts just go out to that family that's having to deal with, losing his son like that. Oh my gosh. He didn't make it as a pro, clearly. Didn't have much of a career, I should say, as a pro. Don't want to say didn't make it. But he sure created one heck of a fan base that preseason when he came in slinging it in preseason, just deep, throwing his guys open. Their receivers running wide open. I mean, everyone was like, well, now wait a minute here. Maybe we need to be playing this guy.
I definitely hopped on that hype train.
No, yeah, it was easy to, and people just kept wondering, well, what do we have there? What if we gave him a shot? So I give him that. If nothing else, he had a fan for life in Redskin fans with what he did.
He was a cool looking quarterback. I remember when he played for University of Hawaii. He had that dark visor, slinging the ball all around the field, playing in Honolulu Stadium. Like, he was a stud. 2-time WAC Player of the Year. Got the Sammy Ball Trophy in 2006.
Fitting.
I mean,
So fitting.
Right. And him coming to Washington, it was fate. I was like, yes, here we go. And like you said, preseason, he was lighting it up. But at the end of the day, and this is the common occurrence with quarterbacks that come out of the Western Athletic Conference.
Yeah.
When they come against the big boys, they're not slinging it as much. You've heard about the David Klinglers, and about the guys that have just dominated in college and then come to the pros. And I think it was a little bit of that, but it was also a little bit of we were struggling at the time.
Yeah.
Was that the Horn era?
It was the Horny for Zorny years. Yeah, that was exactly. Yeah.
So,
he wasn't brought into any situation that he was going to succeed. Whether he had the components or not, he was not going to. It wasn't going to happen here. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, it wasn't going to. And he played for us for 2 years, 2008, 2009. Then went to the Raiders. Did that. Then he played a couple years in, I believe, the CFL with Saskatchewan and another team. And then in 2014, most recent year he played was in the Arena Football League with the Los Angeles Kiss. So shout out to him, man. Rest in peace. I hate to hear that. I mean, especially like my mom messaged me when that happened, and she was like, he was 37, like he was our age.
Right.
You know what I mean? And that stinks. That stinks to hear. But shout out to you. But yes, we got to move on because, ladies and gentlemen, the reason why we're on Thursday and not on Wednesday night, because last night the NFL schedule came out. It is out, ladies and gentlemen. We've been waiting. We knew the teams that we would be playing. We just didn't know the schedule and how it's going to play out. And this year it's 17-game season.
Yeah.
That throws things off, man.
Yeah.
So no more 10-6. You're gonna have some 11-6s. 12-5s.
Yeah, it doesn't sound right.
No, but there won't be an 8-8.
No,
you know what I mean. There will be a 9-8. There will be an 8. Well, maybe 8-1, but God forbid. Hopefully, I can't stand that one.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. So in the first game. All right, shout out to Nicholas Rosario. So you're saying Zach Wilson is going to fail? I mean, he's tiny, Nick. He's tiny. I know you love him. Shout out to my man Nick Rosario of the Round Table. Did his mock draft. He loves this guy, Zach Wilson.
Solid. I kind of do too. He's got swag, man.
He does. But he's tiny.
Right, he was right for New York, whereas Trevor Lawrence, choir boy's not.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting because if you guys remember on draft night when he was in the waiting room, you saw his mom right next to him. She had, the leopard print mink on her already. Looking nice. I said, okay, Mom. Oh, you're ready for the spotlight. She said, I'm ready for New York. Housewives in New York. She's coming, baby. Let's go. Yeah. So opening night, the Super Bowl champions will be playing their newly insured, newly paid quarterback, Dak Prescott, in the Dallas Cowboys. What are you thinking about this, Will? I'm personally mad because I wanted us to play them. I thought we gave them their biggest challenge in the playoffs, but
we did. You're right. I don't know. I mean, this feeds into the NFL hype machine. The return of Dak. Brady coming back. I mean, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be exciting. I look forward to it. I look forward to. What better way to start the NFL season off than with the Dallas loss? So let's go.
Yes. Anytime we get to see Dallas lose, and hopefully in this game, I'm all for that.
Sure.
Absolutely. But one of the things I am hyped about, and we are going to discuss this a little bit later, is we have 2 primetime games that we're going to be appearing in. The
first we don't suck anymore.
Right, exactly. People want to see us. The first one is the Monday night game, Week 12. Washington will be hosting Seattle, and I'm looking forward to that game. Honestly,
Yes,
you know,
very,
last
very.
we all remember last year when that was the whole Dwayne Haskins stripper game, and if we had won that game, which we had a chance at the end of the game, had we won that game, we could have won the division, went to the playoffs. Wouldn't even have to worry about it.
Right, right. Yeah. No, I'm excited about that because I want to see Ron Rivera, a new regime on Monday Night Football. Can we stop the slide? We're like 2-17.
Yeah.
Under Dan Snyder. Can we do better, please? So I want to see that. Plus, like, we seem to play well against Seattle. Remember Kirk Cousins threw that bomb to Josh Doxson when we had offensive linemen that nobody had heard of?
Yep.
You know, for some reason, you know, we play Seattle well. Like, I'm all for that.
Yeah.
DC, let's go. Let's go to FedEx Field.
Let's get it. I love that. I absolutely love that. And like you said, we do play well. I love it. Even in last year's game, we had an opportunity to win that game. You know what I mean? And in the game that you speak of, where we didn't have an O-line, you know, Kirk, that was the year that they took all that. D-Jax was gone, Pierre was gone, Jordan Reed was hurt. He had nothing. Yes. He was on his second, what was it called? He was on a second franchise tag, Kirk Cousins was. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And he played a game that in my mind should have solidified him at least getting another year, another contract, something. Because he did what he wasn't supposed to do in all of our minds. He beat a very powerful, at that time, Seattle team.
Yeah.
Now, this is not that same Seattle team. You've seen all the stuff and the backlash that's going on with Russell Wilson and the O-line and him not having help and this and that. So we shall see, because this will be playoff time. So
I'll tell you what,
I can't wait.
We talk a little bit about Mr. Rogers in DC, but I think, old Mr. Wilson needs to see what it might be like should he come back to his home state.
Let's go.
New coach, new direction. You get a quarterback and dude who could be right back in the Super Bowl. Russell, keep your eyes open.
Let's go. I'm telling you, we're obviously we all know we're a quarterback away at a certain point. Yeah. We have a couple pieces and everything. If it molds together and we stay healthy, we are a quarterback away. So Aaron Rodgers or Russell Wilson, I'll take either or.
Yeah.
Come on. I'm absolutely for that. So shout out to that. But the game that's actually going to be probably one of the more important games, our second game with Dallas, Week 16, another primetime game, Sunday night at 8:20 in Jerry's World. We're playing the Cowboys.
Oh, woo. I did not think it was in Dallas. Oh.
Yeah. It's gonna be interesting.
There's just some hype machine there in Dallas.
Oh yeah.
It'll be fun, hopefully both teams are in the running, for that. Dallas doesn't have the, how awful they were this year. So it can be a fun game. It is exciting to have a, marquee matchup against Dallas towards the end of the year. But if it was at FedEx, I'd feel a little bit better. But who knows? Like I said, Ron Rivera, new slate. Let's see what he can do. He's one.
Let's see. Yeah, let's see. And we're gonna definitely discuss this a little bit later. But that is the third game in our final 5-game stretch that is all NFC East teams. It is Dallas, Philly, Dallas again, Philly again, and then at New York. NFL, what are y'all doing, man?
Right.
I mean, come on. What kind of gauntlet? But we're definitely going to address that, and we're going to address it in the next segment, the segment that got to shout out our boy because he loves to chime in on like it, love it, or hated it. Got to definitely get into this one because, ladies and gentlemen, there is a lot out there that we like and love or hate. And number one thing, we've seen what the schedule is. Our 2021 schedule, you've seen who we're playing. Like it, love it, or hate it. How do you feel about it, man?
I'm somewhere in between like it and hate it. I think I'll go like. I'll go like. I don't hate it. Some of the things I like about it is we have some fun games coming up. We've got that by finishing in first place, we get to play the Bills, the Packers, the Seahawks, the Chiefs. So there's gonna be some good games coming up, which is kind of exciting. And You know the way the NFL works. The games you think you're going to win, you lose. The games you think you have no chance on, we're going to play like it's just the way it works. So that's exciting. As someone who doesn't live in the DC area, they are playing at Atlanta, at Carolina. So there's a chance that I might go to 2 games. So that
Right.
I can go north south. Here we go. So I'm excited about that part. But also looking at it, I saw there's a couple times we have like back-to-back away games, but we don't. I think it might have been last year we had 3 away games in a row, and at least those back-to-back weekends, it's like up to Buffalo and back, up down to Atlanta and back. Those are short trips. They're not sending us to the West Coast and back-to-back weekends because that would be brutal. So they helped us that way. But we'll get into the next segment of the NFC Beast Gauntlet. That's surprising to me. What'd you think?
Yeah, so honestly, I love it. And speaking to your point, so we have back-to-back. We go to Buffalo, then we have Atlanta. That stays on the East Coast. We have Green Bay and then Denver. So we're going halfway across country, and then we're not that far from that. And then Philly and Dallas. You know what I mean? So still in this part of the country, I think I love it personally.
Okay.
I think this schedule gives us an opportunity to make a solid run at it. You talk about that we have Buffalo, we have the Chiefs, we have Tampa Bay. These are big name teams. On top of that, we're talking the Packers if they keep Aaron Rodgers. Now, if they don't keep Aaron Rodgers, that's a very different team.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're definitely way down if they don't. But having him obviously makes them a studded team. And then that 5-team gauntlet, that 5-game gauntlet at the end, which we'll discuss in a minute, that I think is going to be huge because there will be, if we have an opportunity, if we go 5-0 or 4-1, that there will be no question like there was this year. We could potentially not have to play to the very end of the game, end of this year, or if we do fall behind, that will give us an opportunity like this past year, where if we were having a bad year, if we win those games at the end, if we win the necessary games, we'll be put in a position to do that. That's perfect for us. So I love it. I love it. I think this plays right into Jack Del Rio's hands. We're not doing a lot of stuff. We're working on team dynamics, camaraderie, chemistry. We got the guys in place. Hey, with our structure and discipline, if we play the way we're supposed to, I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love it. So to move on, and we just mentioned it, and I'll start on this one. We have a 5-game divisional gauntlet at the end of the season. First, we have NFL, man. Why are y'all doing us like this? Like, I understand since 2010 and probably beyond, it's always come down to this in our division. For the most part, it's come down to the last weekend of the year, going back to 2012 when we had to beat Dallas for that last weekend. You know what I mean? Last year, we had to beat Philly. They helped us, but whatever. We still won the game, to get in the division. So this right here, I hate it. I know I love that we have it. I love it'll improve it. But this, if we played the Chiefs, if we played Tampa, if we played that, it's not a divisional game. You know what I mean? We're going to play our best game against these type of games, 2 against Philly, 2 against Dallas, and a game apart. We go to Dallas, then Philly, then Dallas, then are you kidding me right now? I hate. Why would you do this to us? Yo, why would you do this? Hopefully they fear what we're about to become. That we're going to become dominant. So, Will, what do you think, man?
Man, all it does is make me cue these conspiracy theories about the NFL and puppet masters, and it's like they know the NFC. Then maybe they'll be the NFC least again next year, and so it's like, all right, well, if the teams are all kind of around 500 or less, what are ways we can draw interest? Let's have them all play each other in the month of December, and no one has the outright lead, and anyone's game for the entire month of December and now into January. But I think it's awful. It totally makes sense. The NFL's logic of the end of the season needs to be your division round opponents again, because like you said, whether it's the last game of the season, the week 16, there's a lot more drama when the division's up for grabs. But to have your very first game against one of those opponents in December, that just makes no sense. And the fact that we have 4 of them in a row, back to back of these opponents, and then we see the Giants again, who we haven't seen since week 2. it's just stupid. You know, I mean, obviously it's going to be one of those things where like, well, we won't know where we're at potentially until December. You know, but so there's going to be like this like drama of like what if, unless one of the teams or we go out and run the table and have the great record, but it's like it's just stupid.
Yeah. It is. And when I saw that, I was like, and I, that last game is what really bothers me. Because the Giants, like last year, they seem to have our number. I hate it. Ab touched on it a couple weeks ago. They seem to have our number no matter how bad they are. They had no Saquon last year. Their offense wasn't great, and they still show up. They still show up when they play us. So to have that as the last game of the year, it's kind of like I just do not want to leave it to that game. If it comes down to that game, I'm already shaking.
And isn't it in New York? It's not at home, right?
Yeah, it's at New York. It's at New York.
Yeah.
In January 9th. Like, come on, man.
Those winds in the metal. No.
Right. No, man. So hopefully we will. Yeah, we'll already be, we can rest the players and we're not going to need that game. But if the things you were saying, like the conspiracy theorists and everything, how they're doing it, where they're trying to knock us all out, that's a pinball effect right there. Because I can easily see us winning 4 and then losing that last one, just because we just do not. They have our number for some reason.
Something about it. There is.
It's. I don't know what it is. It's. I hate it. Yo, shout out to the people who are watching. Nicholas Rosario, I do admire your guys' enthusiasm. Yes, it will be a tough road. Oh, hey, absolutely. Those last 5 games in division for us, Nick, are just, we are not looking forward to that. But then, Buffalo, like I said, Green Bay, Tampa Bay, New Orleans is still a solid team, even though they lost a lot of guys. Falcons, we can't sleep on them, and a lot of these upstart teams, the Chargers, we were talking about that before. San Diego is going to have a nice team this year. You know what I mean? So you're absolutely right, Nick. And shout out to Anthony Handy, Zagniv Productions. He was saying, yep, Washington will be playing in Atlanta this year, so he might have to go. He's a diehard Falcons fan. He might have to go to that game. I might have to travel this year. I'm gonna put it out to you like that.
I know when you said what does the return the NFL schedule mean, man? That's okay. What am I traveling? What's my TV schedule gonna be? I have to put it all, block it off, so I know what's happening on Sunday or Thursday or Monday, whatever.
Exactly. Yeah, after we do like Love It or Hate It, we're definitely gonna break down each game, say who we think is gonna win and lose, and we'll also say the time frames, because a lot of the games, except for especially the East Coast, are 1:00 games, and I absolutely love that. That's definitely early. Mm-hmm. So moving on, we're talking about the schedule and Like It, Love It or Hate It. Our season opener and home opener, like we just mentioned, the San Diego Chargers. Like It, Love It or Hate It, Will.
I'm gonna love this because it is. They could be an exciting team. Mm-hmm. Justin Herbert was surprised a lot of people. So I'd like to put our defense up against them. That could be kind of fun. Might wreck some things out there. Show them what it's like to play in a division that plays defense. But also, here's the thing. They're from Los Angeles.
Yep.
There's too many Chargers fans in the D.C. area. We have a problem filling that stadium with just Washington fans. So this may be the best opportunity for us to not look 50-50, 60-40 towards the other.
Right.
So this might be good.
Exactly. Oh my goodness. Yo, shout out to FedEx. They will be having full capacity in these games. So that is gonna we're bringing it back, guys. We're definitely bringing it back. Definitely, get your shot, get whatever you need so we can be back and bring this stuff back to normal. We need our normalcy back, and hopefully this season brings that up. But yeah, Chargers coming from the West Coast. This, you know what I love about this game? I know this isn't the Thursday night game. This isn't the Monday or the Sunday night game, the opening week. But I feel like this is going to be one of the headline games of the 1:00 hour. I think this is because we're both considered upstart teams. They have a lot to prove and a lot of hype coming from last year. And shout out to Anthony saying, San Diego is going to be a little fired up this year. Absolutely agree with you. Melvin Ingram wasn't he hurt all last year, or he was hurt?
He been signed? I don't know if he's been signed yet.
Right, he is still a free agent. Derwin James, their safety, he was hurt last year out of Florida State, shot him out. He'll be back. You got your, like, they did great on the offseason, getting linemen and things like that. They did solid. They got Rashawn Slater in the draft, you know, so they're going to be coming prepared.
Yeah.
We're coming with our new defense and everything, you know, that we got going on. So I'm loving that this is the home opener, the season opener. Hope it's a sunny day in FedEx, you know, tailgating, getting back to going. I love this. I think games like this are going to bring that fire back, bring attention back to Washington. And we got to get that dub. We have to win that game and start things off the right way.
Right.
For sure. So, I absolutely love this. And the last, but certainly not least, we needed, and we talked about this ever since Trent Williams left, we needed somebody to fill that role. We've been looking at linemen. We've been getting certain guys in the offseason. We got guys like Sadiq Charles coming back from injury. Recently, Chicago Bears released their linemen. Will get a little
loud again.
Yeah. Okay, we're good on that. Washington signed ex-Bears left tackle Charles Leno. We all know that Tevin Jenkins got picked up, got drafted by the Chicago Bears. So that, you know, that opened up a spot. So Leno definitely came out. We looked at him, got him in here, and I like it. I like it. Shout out to Nicholas and Delilah on Let's Talk Football, the roundtable. And I asked them once, because we all were confused. You know, he got dropped, he got released, and it was kind of like, okay, he's been with you guys for years. You know, what is it? And they said he's a serviceable guy. He's a pretty solid. He was an alternate for the Pro Bowl a couple years ago. But with Tevin Jenkins, they're looking for him to come in and move right in and play that spot. So, you know, he became available. Let's see what he can do. I think this is going to be great for competition. And if he becomes that guy, let's go. Let's go. Will, what do you think, man?
Yeah, I was with you where I don't really know much about him, to be honest. And so I thought, well, why would you be dropping a starting left tackle?
Exactly.
And people were saying, you know, when he got signed, hey, he's going to be our starting left tackle here, you know. And I didn't think Cornelius Lucas was so bad last year that he shouldn't be given the chance to compete with the new draft pick and let the best man win, maybe groom him. But what I can look at now, you look at the roster, and we have so much more depth than we had before. You know, with Lucas, with Cosme, with this guy Leno now. You know, you've got Morgan Moses on the other side as a starter. You know, we've got some guys who can, if one of the guys get hurt, we can step in. And we were so thin last year. So I think that's a real good step there. And I mean, I do think it's going to be a competition. You get $5 million, he probably has the lead going into it. But I certainly hope they say, you got to earn it. You got to win it, you know. And so we'll see. And, you know, I mean, it can only be good. There can be anything bad about this. So you got to like it.
Yeah. And like you said, like you alluded to, they signed him to a 1 year, $5 million deal. So essentially, I think they're saying, we've given you the opportunity. You know what I mean? Let's see what you can do. If you can get in there on the front line, that'd be perfect. But if not, we have a secure, solid backup. I don't know how he is, if he's just a left tackle. I don't know if he can move along the line. I know that would help if he could, but I mean, like I said, they said he wasn't bad. They said he had a couple games that weren't the best. You know what I mean? But hopefully with our offense and you know, he'd come in and do what he needs to do. I like it. But I definitely am kind of like looking at it like, because if they want you, if a team wants you, they're not just going to up and, you know, cut you right away. So that definitely makes me say, what are they not saying? So yeah, we'll see. But I like that we have another lineman. But here we go. Moving on. That was like it, love it, or hate it. And that's definitely things that are on our mind. But today, the reason why we're doing it on a Thursday is, like we said yesterday, the NFL schedule came out, and we have been waiting all off season. A couple weeks ago, we found out the teams that we were going to be playing. Obviously, knew the divisional games, but we found out about some of the other teams we're going to be playing. But now we know all of the teams in the order in which we are going to be playing. And Will, I'm so excited. I love the schedule. We've alluded to it. We're going to get into it in a minute. But like Nick said, it's going to be a little hard. It's going to be a little tough.
That's
but
gonna be.
I think honestly, if we can get a couple games at the right times, you know what I mean? Get a couple wins under our belt. I feel good about this year, man.
This will be a good test to see what they're building.
Yes.
Last year a fluke? And did we just really take advantage of a really bad division, or do they have some blocks in there that are gonna really do something? Yeah, it's gonna be tough. It's not an easy schedule at all.
No. No. And we're starting with what we alluded to earlier. That first game, week 1 at home, season and home opener. We start with the Chargers. And Will, like we talked about, the Chargers had a great offseason, in my opinion. They secured that line. They got a couple pieces on the outside. They got a couple pieces on the defense. They get Derwin James back. They, like you mentioned, they have not signed, or at least we haven't seen any updates that they signed Melvin Ingram. So they still have Bosa. You know what I mean? Again, let's remember 2 years ago, this defense was a top tier defense, and they were decent last year without a couple of their guys out. So I'm looking forward to this game. I think it'll be a great test, a great way to start off the year. It's at home. I think you're going to have a fired up Washington crowd, ready to go, tailgating starting. You know what I mean? Like, I love this. I cannot wait for this game. What are you thinking about this, man?
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be the first game for the Chargers with a new coach, new scheme. So there's nothing out there for us to really know what they're going to be like. So that's going to be a challenge. Makes it even more harder. But I agree with you. This is a new coach. We've got a veteran coach. They're ready to go. Starting off the season with the dub.
Get that dub. I'm with you. I agree. Both think that they're going to get that dub. I feel like, but I love what you said, that this will be a great test to gauge where we are. You know what I mean? How are we what we think we are to bring out Dennis Green? You know what I mean? Are we that? Are we that up and coming team that we're good? Because Justin Herbert will torch you, especially if he has a defense and he has healthy pieces. He will torch you. We've seen it before. So this is definitely a good one. Second week of the year, we both say we're getting dubs on that one. So the second week of the year, we play our arch rivals at home, Thursday night game, the New York Football Giants. Will, how you feeling? Ugh.
It's exactly what you said earlier. For some reason, the Giants just always have our number and get us. Now, I will say, we had a chance last year. The decision, to go for it before overtime was awful.
Yeah.
I think they went for 2 instead of kicking the field goal and play for overtime. We had the momentum. Now that was in New York, but finally, after at least it's got to be a 2 or maybe 3 year schneid, we're gonna break it.
We're gonna break it.
We're gonna beat the Giants finally.
Let's go. Let's go. Now I gotta agree with you. And I flip-flopped on this one, but I think this Thursday night game, it's a home game. We're gonna be pumped up. It's gonna be a short week from having to play San Diego just a couple days before that. And it's home. You know what I mean? Like, we're gonna be able to come smooth our way into the season. So I think we're getting that W this week. I like what they've done, but I don't think they've not made enough moves on their offense, especially their offensive line, to be prepared for our front seven. Hopefully we can get Jamin Davis in there early. You got Holcomb, you got those linebackers. You know what our D line is doing. We can shore up that secondary. Saquon. I'm obviously worried about Saquon Barkley. We'll see how healthy he is. He's the X factor. I am worried about ex-Duke quarterback Daniel Jones. He gets the job done, or maybe he just gets the job done against us.
He definitely does. The only team. Yep.
Yeah, he does it against us. So I think we're going to pull out the victory. I think it's going to be close, and it's going to be a good game on that Thursday night. But I think we're going to pull out the victory. But I'm still worried. But this is one of those games where I'm like, because the Giants always have our number, and I hate it.
Right.
I got all my dad's from New York, and all my brothers are from New York and everything. So they give me a hard time every year. Oh, y'all garbage. They can't stand it.
Mm-hmm.
So, moving on, week 3, our first away game and our first real tough test, going to Buffalo. This game scares me. Honestly, this game scares me, and I think this game is where we're getting our first L. Yeah. We're getting that L because Buffalo, look, they were one game away from the Super Bowl a year ago. They proved they're a solid team because they got up on KC, 9-0 in early in that game. Their defense is good. Their offense is getting better. Buffalo, I think they're going to have the same kind of success they had last year, and I think we're gonna hang with them. But I think Buffalo's going to take it to us. I think they're going to beat us at Buffalo. You know what I mean? It'll still be warm because it'll be in September, but it's going to be a tough one. It definitely will. What you think, Will?
Yeah, I mean, fortunately, we're going there in September, like you said. That's so much better than
right.
But this is going to be a fun game because it's going to be Ron Rivera going up against one of his former coaches. Sean McDermott was his defensive coordinator, and there was a little bit of like, hey, when Sean took the job in Buffalo and he took some guys from Carolina, there was a little bit of like, yeah, well, look what happened to the Panthers after that. Was Sean McDermott a bigger reason for your success than before? So this will be a good battle between those two. But yeah, ultimately, I think what's going to happen is Josh Allen is going to get a couple throws in. He's going to exploit us, maybe hit deep, and we're going to lose this game.
Yeah. Hey, real quick, shout out to my man Anthony Handy. Appreciate you for watching. I know you got to bounce. He was definitely saying Josh is legit. He's legit. And to your point, Will, we have had a issue with mobile quarterbacks. You look at Daniel Jones, who, he ain't super fast, but he can move. When we have quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Kyler Murray, see what he did to us last year. We have issues, and we got to start figuring out how to contain these mobile quarterbacks. So yeah, Josh is going to get us, man. I think he's going to put in work. And now to the next game, and another one of the games that you talked about potentially being able to go to, week 4, going to Atlanta. They got the 4th pick in Kyle Pitts. You got Ridley, got Gage, Julio will be there. Matt Ryan's got something to prove. Gurley is their running back. Let's not forget, that Gurley is there. He'll come back another year strong. They lost their coach. Quinn is now with Dallas, the defensive coordinator over there. So what are we thinking in this game?
So you know what I think? It's too bad Anthony just left because this is going to be an NFC South game. You're going to see Fitzmagic versus Matt Ryan, just like when he was on the Bucs. It's going to be 40 points for both teams. I think it's going to be an offensive explosion. And I think I'm going to go with we're going to lose this game. It's going to be, Atlanta's just the firepower. They're going to have just one extra early on in the season to beat us. So I'm going to give us another loss. 2 so far.
Yeah, no, I completely agree. This is Matt Ryan, and like I said, he's got something to prove. They got Kyle Pitts. I think they're going to have one of those type of starts like Dak Prescott had last year, where they're just torching it. You know what I mean? Yeah. And they're going to probably be 2-2 themselves, or 2-1 going, or 1-2 going in this game. A must-win game is going to be posed for them in the media coming into this. I honestly think it's going to be a 45-38, a 45-41, where this just bombing it. Julio Jones over 100 yards, Ridley over 100, McLaurin over 100. You know what I mean? Our guys are just going deep, back and forth. And I agree with you. I think we're going to lose. I think home is going to be our safe haven right now, and I think we're going to struggle on the road. Yeah. I think we're going to definitely struggle on the road, and definitely after that Buffalo game, it's going to be a confidence thing. And coming to Atlanta, they are sneaky good, and I
Mhm.
think they're going to do it to us. I completely
Well,
agree.
especially when sometimes when you have these new offensive coaches come in, there's no film on it. I talked to the new coach in San Diego, but Arthur Smith is an offensive guy, so yes, you can look at Tennessee. Maybe he'll have the same things there, but Tennessee, Tannehill's different than Matt Ryan, so he's got to have a different offense. It's like there might not be enough film on there to pick up the tendencies for the defense, and so it could be a shootout like that. And yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So coming after that game, but staying in the NFC South, Week 5, we come home to face the Drew Brees-less New Orleans Saints with their two-headed monster of Jameis throwing interception Winston and Taysom, everything but a quarterback, Hill. I think we're going to go ahead and get that W. I think we're going to come home strong, go up 3-2. I think our defense is going to exploit them not having a real legit quarterback. I know Ab, the shirtless wonder, would give me a hard time for that because Jameis, Mr. 5,000 yards and 30 touchdowns, and let's forget about his 30 interceptions.
Right.
Mr. Ab will definitely loves his Jameis, and I think Jameis is gonna, if saying that he's gonna be the quarterback, I think he's gonna put up some numbers, but I think we're gonna outscore him. I think we're gonna have a little bit of a hangover from that Falcons game, but I think this is that game, one of those games that Fitz is going to show up. I think he's going to have a heck of a game at Atlanta, come home, have a big game against the Saints, and I definitely think we got this. I think our defense is going to shine this week too. So what you got?
I don't know if I can add a single thing to what you said. Solid analysis. Yeah, I think the Saints are going to be good. I think Jameis is going to be better there than he was in New Orleans, but he has not yet proved on a long basis that he can be anything that he wasn't in Tampa Bay,
Right.
which, like you said, was almost Mr. 50-50. Who was catching this ball. So yeah, I think we're gonna get the win as well and get back off that losing streak.
Right. And this one's just for Ab. I think it's gonna in the fourth quarter. It's gonna be a little closer, but Jameis is gonna throw some interceptions.
And it's gonna be picked off by my boy St. Juice.
Let's go. I don't want in Minnesota. Those big
Yeah, the long arms.
Let's go. Yeah. So definitely think we're gonna get that W. 3-2 coming into a 2-game stretch that could potentially be one of the toughest roads for us. And we're at home, so that we can have some comfort in that. But we're playing the defending AFC champions, the Kansas City Chiefs, hungry, trying to get back to that Super Bowl. What do I have on here? Yeah, I didn't even have to look. I got the L. Patrick Mahomes is too good. We haven't seen him in a couple years. I think they built up their line. I think we're going to get to Patrick Mahomes, but I think it's going to be a bunch of those offhand, sidearm, flick it 50 yards type deals where him and Tyreek are just going to get us. I think they're just it's going to be a couple big plays. Kelsey, I think, is going to have a big game, and they're going to expose us. And it's going to kind of make us realize you're good, but you're not that good yet. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? That's my opinion. So I got the L in this one. Will, what you thinking?
Yeah, and part of it has to do with that coach. That for Kansas City seemed to have feel really comfortable on the sidelines of FedEx when he was.
Yep.
He seemed to kind of know what we were doing, and maybe that was more of a product of our badness as opposed to where we are now. But yeah, I'm with you. It's going to be a good test. It's going to be some firepower. Give us a chance to really assess where we're at. But I don't know about this one.
No. Yeah. I don't know. Maybe we can get them in an early season game, but I think by week 6 they're in full swing, and I think Patrick Mahomes has a solid game against us. Yeah. A pretty solid game against us. I think our secondary is going to be reeling after the Falcons game. I think Buffalo's going to put up a couple against us in that Saints game. And I think coming up and then having to face a Tyreek Hill is just going to be too much for us to step to a point.
Mm-hmm.
So, and this is where we're having a stretch. So we're going to be at this point 3-3. But at this point, with our predictions, we're having a stretch where we're going to be 1-3. So this is where you're going to see all the fair weather fans kind of go by the wayside, and oh man, I don't believe in this, and this is blah blah blah. But and probably the most hard to tell game at this point, the Packers game, because it could easily go. Now I have us, even with Aaron Rodgers right now, I have us winning. But without Aaron Rodgers, no question. But with him, I have us playing tough. I'm going to tell you, I have us playing tough. I love that they re-signed Kenny King. I know they got that who they get? They got Caleb Farley. No, who they get for corner?
They got the Eric Stokes, I think. Is he out of? They got a dude out of Georgia.
Okay. Oh, right. So they got him. They and they have Jair Alexander. So I think that slot receiver is going to come and torch those inside. I think our running game is going to run pretty wild over those guys. So I personally think we're going to be able to shut down. Our defense is going to be able to get to Aaron Rodgers. And I mean, I don't see them. I mean, they lost their center, correct? Lindsey. They lost him. So I think our D line is going to have a field day. I've seen, I watched a number of games a year ago where that offense, for however high powered it was, and I'm not taking anything away from Mr. 48-5, Aaron Rodgers, but there were some of those games, like that Tampa game, where they played half a game, they played great, and then they got shut down. Or they play Minnesota, where they got 2 touchdowns, 14-14 at the half, and then shut down in the second half. Yeah. Tampa, Green Bay, unless they fix that, and they're not going to have Jamal Williams, who's a great change of pace back, I think we're going to get the upper hand and beat the Packers. That's with Aaron Rodgers. Without Aaron Rodgers, I'm not even worried about this game.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're going to crush them jokers. All right? Yeah. So how you feeling about it?
Yeah, I think I watched a lot of Packers games last year. My family is from Wisconsin, so they may have been here and we put it on, or I just kind of as something to talk about. I was so surprised last year how Rodgers' only weapon was Devontae Adams.
Yep.
And it's the dude would catch 15 passes a game. And it's are you kidding me? How does this keep happening week in and week out? And I think that if that's still the case with him, I don't know if they brought enough offensive weapons on the line and at receiver. I don't know if they've improved that enough to where we've had some close games against them. We've actually been on the winning end of most of the recent Packers games. The last time we played them, well, Dwayne Haskins was the quarterback. I'm not real high on what he could do. He even had us to a point competitive in the game. So if he's got us competitive, we got to be better now.
Right.
I'm with you on that. I think we'll go. It's October. It's not going to be that cold. It's going to be colder, but it's not. At that point, we can get that win.
Oh yeah, and that's going to be a big time game. I definitely think we can get that W against them. And this is going to be huge for us. So this is going to put us up to 4-3 at the week 7 mark. And it's going to send us into a pretty favorable matchup in my book.
Yeah.
First, the Broncos, although it is in Denver.
There's a wrinkle.
Yes. So it is in Denver. It will be a later game. And actually, this is only the second game that is not a 1:00 game up to this point. The first game is that Thursday night game against the Giants in week 2.
Yeah.
But this is the second game that will be later. It's a 4:25 game because we are on the West Coast. And we're going to be a mile high as well. So I'm eager to see how they handle that. But other than that, I think we've got a W. I don't think that they found their quarterback yet. We can all see. I know they got a guy, but I don't think that they found their team yet. Melvin Gordon, their running back, I love him. Interested to see how that defense comes together. Von Miller, I don't know if he still has his legal issues or anything like that. I know he wasn't in last year because he was hurt. Him, Bradley Chubb. I'm hoping these guys, the corner, Chris Harris Jr., you know what I mean? They have solid guys. They have solid players. They've shown shades of decent play, but without a quarterback, you're not doing it with Mark Rippon's cousin, Brett Rippon. You're not doing it with Drew Lock. Who these guys were decent in college. I mean, Drew Lock was solid in college, but it's not happening here. It's not happening in the NFL. So, yeah, I got us getting the W in this one and a much needed win, helping us down the line. What you say, Will?
Yeah, this is going to be a fun game because Denver parallels us a lot.
Yeah.
Coming defense. They've got a very well-respected head coach who is the defense coordinator, and he's building it. He signed a couple corners. They signed our guy Ronald Darby. I'm pretty sure drafted someone either first or second round. If the name is mistaken me, so they're up in some of the defense a little bit. They've got receivers. Our guy you and I really like. We talked about Tim Patrick. Restricted free agent, crushed it in fantasy. Love the dude. They got Jerry Jeudy, who's fast. KJ Hamler from Penn State. Tons of speed. Hasn't done much in the NFL yet, but they've got some receivers. They're a quarterback away.
Yep.
We just talked about it. Where is one of the teams that Mr. Rogers is being linked to? On paper today, this game looks like, I think we're a better team than Denver, but if Aaron Rodgers is there,
right,
it changes things a lot.
That changes everything, right?
But now here's another one. You know what I read? I heard that at this point, or this season, Mike Shanahan is getting inducted into the Broncos Ring of Fame. Now, if they were to pick this week, you think Mike wouldn't have some extra motivation on beating Dan Snyder?
Oh, yeah.
So this will be interesting to see what happens. And, if this is the week that he gets inducted, then I might be like, oh, no. Right. For us right now. But today, I'm with you. We're going to get a W there. We're going to go into the bye and rest up with the W. Feeling good.
Yes. Yeah. So, I'm with you, but that's great. Actually, that's absolutely great points because this is one of those primary places that is being speculated that Aaron Rodgers wants to go to. He wants to come back to the West Coast. So if he were, in fact, going to come here and or even if that didn't happen, we tend to, in recent history, play to our competition. Mm-hmm. So Denver, even though on paper they don't look like they're that great, we have been known to do that. And you add in that type of story with Shanahan potentially getting in on that game. It's like a homecoming game. They're playing their butts off for that moment. So I hate that. But at this moment on paper, from what we looked at, what we've researched, I got them having a W. But it's going to be close. I don't think it's going to be a blowout in this one. I don't think it's going to be a blowout. Like you alluded to, week 9, we get a much-needed rest. I got us at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 3. Right? Is that what you got? We pretty much saying
2, 3, 4, 5, and 3.
5 and 3. 1, 2.
8 games.
Yep.
5 and 3.
So 5
right
and
in
3
line right now.
Right. So now we're in the bye week. Get our guys rested up. Everything's good. At this particular point, I feel like, or at least by history's standpoint, this is when Fitz falls. All right. Right around here, right after the bye week, coming into the Week 10 matchup at home, the rematch of the NFC wildcard playoff. They come back to FedEx, the Super Bowl champ, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. This will be Week 10. They will be rearing to go. Tom Brady, Gronk, AB, all those guys, Leonard Fournette. So I think we're going to be amped for this game. I think we're going to be absolutely jacked for this game. We're going to be ready to prove it. I think there's going to be a big story about Chase Young. And, you said you wanted TB and they won. What happened? You didn't do anything in that game. What are you going to do now? And I think it's going to amp him up, and I think he's going to play a hell of a game, an absolute amazing game. And I think we get this W. And we really get jacked up and hyped for this one. So that's my opinion. What you think, man?
You convinced me. I mean, because when we did this earlier, this was a loss.
Yeah.
It's also one of these things where, I think, you say it's the middle of the season. Tampa Bay is going to be fired up in the beginning to show people, we're for real. They're going to be wanting to get things going at the end of the season. So we're in that middle of the season lull where they know they're good. They know they're going back to the playoffs. It's kind of like for us, we're coming off a bye, so we should be well rested, have a chance to scheme against them. You know, and it's kind of like when they may not care that much about this game as we will.
Right.
You got me. I'm going W.
Let's go.
Row. Look at that. 3
Let's
wins.
go.
All right.
Needed that. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, this game, I think we're really going to be amped up. And like you said, I think for us, it's going to be a Super Bowl type game. And for them, it's going to be like, oh, this is just a speed bump. It's just not going to mean as much to them as it will mean to us. But that will then set up a potential trap game against my brother's favorite team. Shout out to Jared Spencer. The Carolina Panthers in Carolina, the 1 o'clock game, Week 11, and I have us winning, but this could be a trap game, man. I think we're gonna be so jacked up from the Buck. What do you think? What do you think?
I don't think it's going to be a trap game. I think what we don't know is how good is Carolina going to be, how Sam Darnold going to be. But this is Ron Rivera's homecoming to Charlotte.
True.
And loved here, or I should say, I'm close enough to Charlotte, but they still very much like him. Love him. So this is his home. I think there's going to be something a little bit extra special there. The other thing that's going to be nice about this is there are a lot of Washington fans in the Charlotte area.
Yes.
So I mean, I'll be up for one of the rallies. Hopefully, they have this is probably one of the most well attended rallies just from how many people live in North Carolina are Washington fans. So we're gonna have a little bit of a presence there at the game. I can't believe I'm going to say we're going to win 4 in a row, but because that just I'm like it's going to happen. But
let's go.
Ron Rivera revenge game. He's winning.
Yeah. We're definitely we're going to get that dub. Hey, and again, I think this is, with the exception of the Giants being in our division, I think this is similar to the Giants game. I think you have a quarterback that can play, but tends to play decent against us. Darnold was 50-50 against us, but I think he's got a solid quarterback. You have that game-changing running back in Christian McCaffrey, who is, parallel Saquon Barkley, can run, can catch, can do it all. You know what I mean? You got some of these receivers coming out, Robbie Anderson. You got some guys that are going to do it. And they got Penei Sewell, so we'll see how he does for them. So this could be no. The Lions got Penei Sewell. Who the Panthers? They got your boy J.C. Horn.
Yeah.
So we'll see how he, because we're gonna put him to work in that game. So we'll definitely see how he plays out, for sure. But I definitely think we're gonna get the dub in this one. And this might be one of the games because my brother's a diehard Panthers fan. This might be one of the games that we actually travel to, because we got a lot of our family lives in North Carolina and lives near Charlotte and everything. So we might just drive down there and
perfect.
Let's go. Circle this one on the calendar. Week 11, Panthers game. We're going to try to work that out because that would be phenomenal. Be on scene. Oh, yeah. I like that. So got the W there. Next, week 12. We talked about it before. Monday Night Football. Prime time, baby. We need it at home versus Seattle. Is becoming a little bit of a rival. They're coming across the country to see us. But Will, I'm coming to you. We've discussed it. We've had good games, but we've also had bad ones. So what do you think, man?
Oh, man, this is tough because I so want to pick us to win. So want to say we're going to break the streaks, beat the Schneid, get the victory. New team, we play Seattle well. But I'm looking at here, if I've just given us 4 wins in a row, it's going on a 5-game win streak like this. So I got to take an L somewhere. This just seems like a natural place to take the loss, unfortunately.
Yep. Absolutely with you. I'm with you. We're coming off that 4-game winning streak. We don't recently, we have not done good in Monday night games. I think, what'd you say, 2-7?
17. 2-17.
2-17. Dear God. Yeah. So that's playing against us. We knew how Kurt did on Monday night or any prime time game. laid a flipping egg.
Mhm.
So, yeah, Russ is going to have something to prove. This is going to be getting close to playoff time. They're going to need it. We're going to be riding high off what we perceive as 4 straight victories.
Right.
And this is definitely going to be a pitfall for us. And it's going to be, live prime time on TV. And it's going to be something that hopefully rights the ship, though, that just kind of resets us. And it says, okay, we're coming into the home stretch. Get it together.
Yeah.
Get it together. So, we definitely got that loss. And with that one, at home, but we have to travel clear across the country to the beautiful state of Nevada to go to play Las Vegas in their beautiful new stadium, 4:05 p.m. The Raiders. I got us getting back on the winning streak. Getting back on the winning side. I got us pulling this one off. I'm not Josh Jacobs, Darren Waller. They got talent on their team. They lost Aguilar. He's no longer with them. So I think we're gonna get this W. I don't trust what they have going on. I think they're gonna play a decent game, but I think we're gonna get this win. The Raiders don't show me anything that I'm really right now afraid of. Will, what are you thinking?
Yeah, no, I think we're a better team than the Raiders. 405 star, the flight being, all that can factor in a little bit, but I think we are a better team than them. And so I think Derek Carr, we talked about, is he a trade target? Good quarterback, but nothing that's really scaring me on them. I think we're going to get a win as well.
Yeah. So with that leads us into our final 5 games of the season, 5-game divisional gauntlet to end the season, starting with Dallas. The Dallas Cowboys at home. They'll come to FedEx. And Will, I got the L, man. I got the L. I'm saying they come to FedEx and they shock us. Dak has a great game. Zeke runs the ball. I think because with them, it's kind of like, and it's leading up to my next thing, with my next game when we play them in 2 weeks, where we go to Dallas and do the same thing. But I think they come to Washington, they pop our balloon, and it really kind of gets us to be like, okay, now we need to win. Now we absolutely have to win these games. I think they beat us right here. What'd you say, Will?
Man, you bring up a good point, and it comes down to what do you have on film? Dak plays well against us.
Yep.
The truth of the matter is whether we can joke about his accuracy or the inflated numbers from last year, he plays well against us. So you're right. I'm not ready to concede a home game yet. Sometimes those games don't have as many points scored because the grass at FedEx. So I'm going to still give us a W here, but you make good arguments.
So that's definitely a game that I think that's gonna be a good one, and I know those tickets are gonna be through the roof, but that's definitely an interesting one. But then we go to Philadelphia in Week 15. The time is to be determined. Potentially be flexed. I have us winning this game. I have us going to Philadelphia, getting our minds right, knowing we need a divisional game. We go to Philadelphia, we get the W. I think we'll kind of have their number now. They don't have the Washington killer in Carson Wentz. You know what I mean? Jalen Hurts can run on us. Again, if he's their starter, we know that he has the wheels. And we have trouble with mobile quarterback. But cannot overlook every Giants fan that came up to me last year, oh, Hurts was gonna kill you guy. The guy was still 7 for 20. You know what I mean? He wasn't having a good passing day against us. If we contained him, we would have shut him down. Yes. All right. Don't let the stat line with the 2 rushing touchdowns fool you. I think we would have eventually shut him down. And this year I definitely think we will. I think we're gonna expose him, and I think we're gonna beat him here. I think we're going to beat him in Philly.
God,
So
I love what you say. Everyone talks about that Philly game. It's like, he wasn't really throwing the ball much. Yes, he kind of had us on our heels with his running, but they were moving the ball, but then they weren't scoring either. Um, oof. I've had this as a loss before, and I mean, we got to have some losses here. And that's like, man, are we really going to get 3 wins in a row against Philly? I'm going to say, because this is at Philly, I think it's going to be close. I think, like you said, we're going to play down to them. I'm going to go loss, and I kind of think I should flip flop what you did, but I think I'm going to have to get a loss in somewhere, so I'll go here.
Yeah. So and so this is where it actually flips for me, because then we talk about week 16, Sunday night football, primetime game. This is where I flip for the Dallas, where I say we go into Jerry's world, ruin his Christmas. It's gonna be like right around Christmas, New Year's, ruin his Christmas. Have this amazing game live, national television in his house. We take this game, and I feel like we're gonna be riding high from that Philly game, going to Philly, going to Dallas, taking W's from both of those places, hopefully firmly cementing at least a wild card, at least something in there. But I think we're gonna definitely go into Dallas and put that foot down, and I think we got the W here.
Gosh, I hope you're right, man. Would that be so sweet to do it? Yeah, and like you said, it would make sense for the fact you get surprised when at home. You get some film, you study up on them, and you get them. I think Dallas is going to be improved this year. I think they're going to be in whatever the division hunt is. So this is going to be a big game in Dallas, and I think it's going to be close. But I think Cowboy fans are going to go home happy. I think we're going to lose. I'm going to take 2 losses in a row.
Ooh.
It's easy for us. So, we're going to get it towards the end of the season and have to win our way out.
Yeah. And with this gauntlet, with it being these 5 straight divisional games, I mean, to be 4-1, to be 5-0 is funny. It's lovely to think about, but it's not realistic. You know what I mean? This is, they talk about Chicago and the NFC North being the black and blue division. This is the real black and blue division. We're the NFC least because we lost a bunch of other teams, but we were pinballing each other last year. You see how the Giants beat us twice. We beat the Dallas and Philly twice. Philly beat, New York. Like, we were going back and forth in that division. So there's no mistake that these last 5 games are this way. And to go on to week 17 at home, I feel like we're going to come into this game 2 away games, feeling fresh. And you might be shocked by this, but I think Philly's going to shock us. I think we're going to have 2 amazing games, going to Philly, going to Dallas, ready to go. But I think the fact that Philly played us 2 weeks before, the fact that we're playing Dallas, who we play a certain type of way, we're playing them twice. And you mentioned it earlier about film, about having film on teams. I think Philly is going to come into Washington, and I think this, if we haven't already sealed it, I think this is going to be like that Seattle game where we could have won and made it to playoffs. But some reason we have a tendency, when we have an opportunity to win the division like 2 weeks ahead, we can't seem to close it. We can't seem to close out. And I think Philly comes and they spoil our parade and they make us have to go to New York, where I'm saying, or we'll go ahead. We'll say that later. So, yeah.
See, now I'm going to go with the dub because I think of all the teams in the NFC East, by January 2nd, Philly's season's over.
Yeah.
They're going to be in 4th place. They're not that much they're playing for. They may even be thinking about, depending on what their record is at that time, where are we drafting, just like they did last year? Are we going to be in line to get a franchise quarterback if they find that Hurts is not it? And so I think they're going to have much less to play for. This is at home. I've got us, losing 2 games before, just like you said. It's like we don't make it easy. You got it. This is a must-win game, unfortunately. January 2nd, got to win it, and we do.
Yep. I love it. And it's late in the year. And this will be that time where everybody's sitting here looking and saying, okay, well, if this team wins this game, and then they have these teams lose, and they have both these teams have to lose, and then they get in from that. Like, this is when the whole scenario, playoff scenario, division championship scenario come into place. And I think we're going to be thinking about that. Also, paired with the fact that, I mean, yeah, we won the division last year, but for all intents and purposes, we should not have been in the playoff hunt. We shouldn't have been, trying to even think about the end of the season. We should have been preparing for this coming year. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
But we were in the hunt because of how things were. I think that's going to be this way. I think we're going to be in the hunt to the very end of the season. We always make it harder for ourselves. And Philly, and as we've seen with Philly, they do not care about division. They don't care about, you know what I mean? They care about Philadelphia, and that's it. You know what I mean? So, it's going to be interesting with that one. So they're, I think, going to be like, we're done. We're waiting for the next year. And it's going to lead us to this last game in New York, and we're getting this W. We're going to get the W. We're going to win this thing, finish on a high note, make it into the playoffs, at least wild card. I haven't done everybody else's schedule, so I don't know how I feel like they're going to play out. I think Dallas is going to be tough. I think that it's going to come down to us having to win this game, and Dallas is going to need to do something else. They're going to need to do something to get in. The Giants could potentially be there depending on injuries and whatnot, but I think we knock them out here. I think we knock the Giants out here and we take this thing, but I think Dallas gets in.
Yeah. So 2020 was the year of us finally breaking the streak against Philly. 2021 is going to be we break it against the Giants. We sweep the Giants.
Let's go.
It's a big game, just like you said. It's not going to be at 1 p.m. It's going to be 8:20 at night, just like they had. They're going to flex it. They're going to make it a big game. I'm with you where I really think it's going to be Washington and Dallas that are going to be the teams coming in for this year. I think the Giants are going to be competitive right there, but they're going to finish third. Ultimately, they may be a game or two behind. It's not going to be enough. I think we are going to win the division in New York and sweep the Giants.
It'll be so beautiful. What is your final record that you have?
11-6, a little bit higher than I was anticipating.
That's what I have. I have 11-6. I have those losses at Buffalo, at Atlanta, Chiefs, definitely. That Monday night game against Seattle, and then 2 late games, one against the Cowboys, one against Philly. I think, and I think it's just the times in which we play them. That first weekend trip that we face, where we go to Buffalo, then go to Atlanta, I think that's going to be taxing on us. Yeah. The Chiefs are the Chiefs. I mean, I think that's self-explanatory. I don't think you said 2-17 on Monday nights. We haven't gotten past that. I don't think we're not there yet in my mind. So I think we lose that one. And then that gauntlet at the end of the year is gonna mess with us. It's gonna mess with us, but we're gonna do what we need to do. That's gonna be the difference between previous years and this Ron Rivera led team, where it's more mature, more disciplined. We're gonna be hitting our stride at that particular point, in my opinion. All right, and I definitely got us going to the playoffs, wild card, and I would absolutely love it if we had like a wild card matchup, kind of like how Pittsburgh and Cleveland had, where we play like Dallas. The first game, let's go. Third one, this is it. We won one, they won one. This is it. And nothing would be sweeter than to kick Dallas out of the playoffs. Come on. Man.
I'd be so nervous for that game, too.
Oh, my God, yeah.
So hyped up, but so nervous.
Oh, man. I honestly cannot wait. I absolutely am super excited. So glad the season's back. Like we said, full capacity at FedEx. We will be there. Hopefully, you guys will, too. And, Will, what game are you most looking forward to?
I don't know. I might say the Packer game, to be honest with you. Only I got so much family that lives right up there. It'll be a lot of talking between us and stuff. Yeah. I am excited for that. Week 2, that's what I'm most excited about.
Ooh, yes.
We have to break the streak, and I gotta
Yes.
see us do that. It's
Yeah.
got to happen. Otherwise, I'm gonna break my windows in my house.
Right. Yes. And
What
look, at
about
that
you?
time, right, at that time, those like I think week 3, I think is around my birthday. So week 2, we always are talking Giants because we always seem to play them early, from
Mhm.
time to time. And I remember a
Mhm.
couple years ago, I went to Chicago and we played on a Thursday night. And I can't remember who their tight end was, but this no-name tight end. First of all,
I
the New
just
York
heard
Sports.
it. Larry Donnell.
Yeah, yeah.
Touchdown catches 7 overall.
Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
They scored like 45 on us.
Yes.
And I had gotten off the plane and we like dropped our luggage off at her sister's house, went over to the bar, and I was like, oh, dang, let me just check this. Let me check it. And I looked up and they were like, oh, 3 touchdowns, 45-14. What the fuck? And I said, all right, man. And my brother called me. He lives in New York. He has a diehard matter of fact, shout out to my brother, Daryl Spencer. Just had his birthday, man. So glad I was actually able to go out there, and my dad and I went out there and went fishing with him. Diehard Giants fan. Diehard. When I say diehard, this man had a huge Ford F-150, New York blue. On one side, he had Michael Strahan, Gap and all, with the Super Bowl trophy. On the other side, he had Tiki Barber running to daylight. Do you know what he had on that back flap? Do you know what he had, Will? Okay, he loves to show this to me. He had one was a Super Bowl trophy, and the other was LT moments before he ended Joe Theismann's career.
Oh my gosh.
Like on his back, about to bring him down. And I'm just like, but I can't say anything.
You can't.
Right?
You're
They've been beating us year after year. What's it called? Eli Manning winning Super Bowls, all this stuff. I remember I said to him one time after the Eagles won, I was like, yo, Tom Brady, he might be great, but he can't beat the NFC East. And he was like, he can't beat the Giants and the Eagles. Y'all aren't in that. That was like,
Right.
oh, you're right.
No.
So hey, shout out to him. But that game is going, that's going to be the
I'm
break.
hyped. Early season hype for that. Yep.
Yeah.
I'm excited to see the primetime games. I'm excited to see us on Monday night, see what they're like. The Dallas game will always be. That'll be a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to the Panther game. I think Panthers or Falcons. I'm gonna try. October might be easier for me to go to, but there's a lot of Redskin fans up there. So up in China, I want to be around them. It's fun. I'll go up for the rally.
Oh yeah, and see that. Yeah, that's the one I'm looking forward to. I took my brother a couple years back to a Panthers game. That was, I want to say, about 3-4 years ago when the tickets were. Well, tickets have been pretty cheap recently because we've not been great, but they were. I think the tickets were real cheap, and I took him in for his birthday, which is the 22nd of September, and we went to that game. Panthers ended up beating us, but I think everybody beat us that year. And but it was nice. It was fun. He's not a closet fan. He likes his team, but he was a huge Cam Newton fan. When they got him, it was like when Nick and Delilah got Justin Fields. He lost it. He was like, yes, let's go. So he's a diehard Cam fan. Came on our show on Let's Talk Football in the fall. It was like, I love Cam. Not a New England fan. I love Cam, but definitely still a Panthers fan. So he's still watching out. So I think we might have to, if he's up for it, I think we might have to make that move, go visit North Carolina, see if we can all link up. But I definitely want to get to that game. Is exciting.
Yeah, I love it.
So, but yeah, also the prime time, that Dallas game, absolutely in Jerry's world, Sunday Night Football. I'm so looking forward to that one. And Tampa, that Tampa game, because I want to prove that, look, we can beat these guys. It wasn't just this random thing. What we were doing was working. You know what I mean? So hopefully we could come correct by that time. What do we say? That was the middle of the year. So by that time, Mr. Fitzpatrick will turn into Fitztragic. All right, midnight will have struck for him.
Right. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So maybe Heineke will be back. And I don't know what's going to happen. We can't predict that. But at the same time, yeah. So I'm eager to see that game. But yeah, that Carolina game, that Dallas game, Those are two games that I'm definitely hyped about.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely hyped about. Yes, absolutely. Love it, man. Honestly, man, and this it can't get here soon enough, man.
This makes it real. Like now you're like, okay, I can start picturing the season now. I can start,
right.
how are we gonna play against these guys? I can start over obsessing.
Right. And see, the funny thing is, so shout out to my fiance, Kat Hughes, diehard. She loves going to concerts, loves going out to different places and events, and has really been hit hard with COVID and how everything does. And she's like, well, you love this because you're a homebody. You get on these shows and do this and that. And I said, no. When the football season is in, I love going. Those are my concerts. That's when I love to go. And I told, as soon as the season the schedule came out, that's when we could put the calendar next to the schedule and say, okay, this weekend I can't go anywhere.
Right.
This weekend I have to be here. I'm sorry. This weekend, okay, I can miss. Let's see, like the Saints game. Okay, maybe I'll miss the Saints game. That's fine. But no, we're playing the Buccaneers. I can't. The Panthers, I might actually be out of time. I might be going to Dallas. Well, she knows better on Dallas. Yeah. She knows about Dallas. Philly, maybe. The Giants, yes, because I got family. But Dallas, it's like, just don't even. Don't.
It's really important to have a significant other that understands the obsession.
Yeah.
Like you can put it on the calendar and they know, 1 o'clock game, so we gotta get everything done before 12 or. Right. I mean, we can do something, during the day beforehand. Yeah, we want to go out, want to go to the park. Yeah, let's do it.
Right.
Yeah. She's learned enough that, I become very distracted.
Right.
Really listening. And I may be looking this way, but my mind is
somewhere else. Absolutely.
It's very, very fortunate when you have a significant other that understands that life.
Oh yeah. And I told her, I said, look, I'm all for it. I said 6 months out of the year, you got me. That's why since I've been doing these shows, she's been kind of getting like, well, normally in the off season you're not doing anything, so we could go, but now you got these shows every week, and I'm like, yes.
Right.
What? Sorry, babe. But I said, like during the season, it's like it's a whole different thing. Mm-hmm. It's all a totally different thing. And I'm so focused in here, and we'll go places, we'll go out, and I said that's fine. But now with all this technology we have, where we can watch games on our phones and highlights, I'll be with you. But it's like you said, my mind is there. I got the headphone in the ear, and you're having a conversation, and I'm like, everything is predicated on what's happening in the game. Yes. Oh, I love spinach. Yes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I absolutely. But hey, you hit the nail on the head. It's imperative that you have your significant other understand the level of obsession and fandom that we have. So definitely. And yes, this is more real. The schedule is out. Again, this year we'll have 17 games in the regular season, 3 preseason games. So we're definitely excited about that. Like we've been mentioning, full capacity at FedEx. It's almost here, folks. I know it's very far away, but at the same time, May is going to be over soon. June's going to be gone soon. July Otas, we're getting all this going. Preseason starts in August. Right around the corner, baby. Let's go. Let's get it. So, man, this again. Hey, anything else you got to say, Will?
No, this has been fun, and like I said, like we've said, this just kind of makes it more real.
Yes, absolutely. So definitely stay tuned. We will be bringing you all the Washington stuff. Stay tuned for Aaron Rodgers potentially still leaving. Mm-hmm. They want to. I know they were talking about prior to June 1st, the cap hit would be like 28 mil or something like that. But then after June 1st, it goes down to like 16 mil this year and then 17 next year. So check that out. Mm-hmm. Shout out to Wendy. Sorry if your boy leaves, but
if he comes to Washington. No, yeah.
So hey, shout out to him. Hopefully, we'll definitely be monitoring that and any moves, news, and notes from our beloved Washington football team. who, to this date, is undefeated against the hated Dallas Cowboys. Let's just say that right there.
Yeah.
So, yo, here we go. The schedule's out. Hope you guys can dive in, get to these games. We'll definitely be having so many things that we're going to be trying to do once the season gets in full swing and we're able to get out in the open, in public, back, seeing you guys in person. We thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Hopefully now you know the schedule. Now you're ready to go. We will be back next week, and this is Washington Football Weekly. For my man Dub K, I'm Sean Spencer. See you later, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. Here. The lion. New music. So funny. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is